Hey, second grade, welcome back. We're going to do our first official lesson for Chapter 7. So, before we get started, I want to review coins and I want to identify those coins with you. So, hopefully, you've had a chance to work with mom and dad at home or grandma or whoever you live with and start identifying some of those coins. So, today, I'm going to go over each of the coins and a little bit of a saying that we can use to help us remember what the coin is and how much it's worth. So the first one and the easiest coin to identify, to figure out what it is a penny. And that's because a penny is the only one that is copper in color. So it's the only one that isn't silver. So it's super easy to figure out. So a penny is worth 1 cent. It is the small, it's not, is it the smaller, is it smaller than a dime? I think it's smaller than a dime. But it is the smallest in value, for sure. So to help us remember this, we're going to say, penny, penny, easily spent, copper, brown, and worth 1 cent. So I'll do that again. Listen and see if you can say it with me. Penny, penny, easily spent, copper, brown, and worth 1 cent. All right, now hopefully let's say it with me. I'll say it first. How can I do this? I'll say part of it and then you repeat it back to me, okay? Penny, penny, easily spent, copper, brown, and worth 1 cent. Awesome. Okay, now let's try it again all together. Penny, penny, easily spent, copper, brown, and worth 1 cent. All right, we're going to be saying that a lot this chapter. All right, but that is a penny. Next coin is a nickel, and this one is one of the hardest ones to identify. A lot of kiddos get a nickel and a quarter mixed up. But there are a few ways that we can figure out if it's a nickel or if it's a quarter. So a nickel is smaller in size. Okay, it's a little bit smaller than a quarter. Also, if I look at a quarter, this dude does not look exactly like this dude, right? They're not the same guy. So you can learn, I call this Cool Nick, okay? Cool Nick and his cool ponytail, okay? Because over here, this one's a little bit weird, right? It's a little bit odd. So I say Cool Nick and his ponytail. If it's Cool Nick, it's a nickel, okay? And nickel is worth 5 cents. And the cool thing about a nickel is the back of the coin. If we look at the back of it, it says 5 cents. That's pretty easy to remember. So it tells you right there that it's worth 5 cents. And the coin that's worth 5 cents is a nickel. Okay. So we're going to, the little saying that we'll say for a nickel is nickel, nickel, thick and fat. You're worth 5. I know that. So that's for a nickel. I was going to say something and I'm blanking. Say it with me. Nickel, nickel, thick and fat. You're worth 5. I know that. Perfect. Let's say it together. Nickel, nickel, thick and fat. You're worth 5. I know that. And another way that if you have an actual nickel at home, if you look at the nickel, the edges are smooth. And then if you hold up a quarter's edges are ridged. And that's another way that you can figure out if it's a quarter or a nickel. But when you're working on paper, it doesn't help. But that is a cool way to figure it out if you have an actual coin in your hand. All right, so let's do this one more time. Nickel, nickel, thick and fat. You're worth 5. I know that. All right. And then our next coin that we're going to talk about is a dime. And a dime, even though it's smaller in size than a nickel, it's actually worth more. So a dime is actually worth 10 cents. And a dime on the back, it doesn't say 10 cents, but it does say 1 dime. So it tells you right away that this is a dime. So that's an easy identifier. And then the front, he's the only one who has a short haircut of all the guys, except for Abraham Lincoln. But that's on a penny, and we know what a penny looks like. It has a different color. So normally kiddos don't confuse dimes and pennies. It's normally nickels and quarters that are a bit confusing. But for a dime, our saying is dime, dime, little and thin. I remember you're worth 10. I'll say it one more time. Dime, dime, little and thin. I remember you're worth 10. So now let's do that again. We're going to repeat after me. Dime, dime, little and thin. I remember you're worth 10. Perfect. Okay, let's say it one more time together. Dime, dime, little and thin. I remember you're worth 10. Perfect. All right. Last coin. Let's talk about that quarter. So this is the biggest coin in value. It's the biggest in size and also is the biggest in value. And on our quarter, we have our first president, Mr. George Washington. So this is George Washington, and like I said, he doesn't have just a plain ponytail. His is a little bit fancy, so it's not cool. So he's not Cool Nick, okay? He's just George, okay? And it also says right on here, $quarter. It tells you right on the front, this is a quarter. So that should be super easy to identify because we see $quarter. And then on the back, quarters of the back of quarters can look different. Different states have different quarters, but a lot of them also have an eagle on the back. And again, it says $quarter. So, tells you it's a quarter. All right, for a quarter, the little saying that we're going to say is quarter, quarter. Oh, wait one second. Let me just check really quick. All right, I'm back. All right, so quarter, it is quarter, quarter, big and bold. You're worth 25, I am told. Let's try it again. Quarter, quarter, big and bold. You're worth 25, I am told. Let's do the repeat after me. Quarter, quarter, big and bold. You're worth 25, I am told. Let's try it together one more time. Quarter, quarter, big and bold. You're worth 25, I am told. Okay, so that's all the coins that we're going to talk about. Today in our lesson, we are only going to talk about quarters. Not quarters. The only one we won't talk about is quarters. We will talk about nickels, dimes, and pennies. So let's go ahead and open up our book. We're going to find lesson 7.1. It's on page 467. I'm going to rip out page 467 and 469. So you can go ahead and rip out those pages. If you need to pause the video to get yourself sorted, you can do that. If not, let's get started. So we're going to flip over to the back of that first page. And right here, it says model and draw. We have the dime, 10 cents. Remember? Dime, dime, little and thin. I remember you're worth 10. This is a cent sign. That's what that is. 10 cents, 10 cents. This is a nickel, 5 cents. Nickel, nickel, thick and fat. You're worth 5. I know that. And then we have a penny. Penny, penny, easily spent. Copper, brown, and worth 1 cent. So we have the penny there. All right. What we're going to do is we're going to do something called hairy money. We're going to give our coins some hair. So 1 hair is worth 5. So if I have a dime is worth 10. So how many 5s would I need to make up 10? 2, right? 5, 10. So I'm going to put 2 hairs on my dime. Okay? And then for my nickel is worth 5. So how many hairs would I put on my nickel? 1. Now they got some hairs. And then for my penny, would I be able to put any hair on my penny if it's worth 1 cent? No. So for 1 cent, we're just going to put a dot up here. So he doesn't get a hair. He only gets a dot because it's only worth 1. Okay? So when I'm going down here we have 2 dimes. So on each of those dimes, I'm going to put 2 hairs. And the reason I do this is because now if I'm counting, if I'm not very good at counting by tens or counting by 5s, or if I have a bunch of quarters and dimes and nickels, this will help me keep on track. So what I would do is I'd put the hairs and then I would count them. So we have 5, 10, 10 cents, 15, 20, 20 cents, 25, 30, 30 cents. Okay? Then down here it says count nickels by 5. So a nickel gets 1 hair because it's worth 5 cents. So I would do the same thing. 5 cents, 10 cents, 15 cents. Here we have a bunch of different coins. So we have 2 dimes, so each of those is going to get 2 hairs. We have 2 nickels, so they're going to get 1 hair. And then pennies don't get hairs, they just get dots. And then when I'm counting, I'll count like this. 5, 10, 10 cents, 15, 20, 20 cents, 25 cents, 30 cents, 31, 32. Okay, so the total value of all of those coins is 32 cents. All right, let's go down and try one together. It says count on to find the total value. So I'm going to add my hairs. So what are these coins here? Those are all what? Nickels. They're all nickels. And how many hairs do we put on a nickel? 1, because it's worth 5 cents. So we only put 1 hair. So I'm going to put a hair on each of those nickels. And I know this is the only one that looks like Cool Nick, right? This is the same dude. He's just turned facing forward. Okay? So it's the same thing. That's what a nickel can look like that too. All right, and then we have a penny here, and a penny doesn't get a hair. It just gets a dot because it's not worth 5 cents. It's only worth 1. So then I'll count. Here we have 5 cents, so I'll write 5 cents, comma, 10 cents, comma, 15 cents, comma, 20 cents, comma, 25 cents, comma, and then 26 cents because it's only 1. So my total value of coin is 26 cents. And then I'm just going to go back and double check my work, make sure that I counted up all right. So we have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 26. Perfect. Okay. We're going to be running out of time here. Okay, here we have what? It says 1 dime. All right, so it's obviously a dime. So a dime is worth how much? 10 cents. So how many hairs are we going to put on a dime? 2. So I'm going to put 2 hairs on that dime, 2 hairs on this dime. Oh no, this one's a bigger coin. So this isn't a dime still. What is this? A nickel. And how much hair do we put on a nickel? 1, because it's worth 5. So we'll put a hair on each of those. And then I can go ahead and count. So we have 5, 10 cents, 15, 20 cents, 25 cents, 30 cents, 35 cents. So our total value is 35 cents. Again, I'm going to check my work, make sure I have everything right. We have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. 35 cents. All right. Okay. Let's go to the next page. All right, because we're running out of time, I want to have you try this page on your own. See if you can add that hair and count up these coins, okay? So pause this video, get your work done, and then we'll meet up and we'll check your work, okay? See you in a few minutes. Okay, hopefully you got your work done. I have done mine. I've shown all of my work and how I counted. Here are all of my answers. So you can go ahead and pause this if you need to. Check your work, see how you did, okay? Down here, I still showed what each one was. If you didn't, that's okay. But it just helps me keep organized and keep everything looking good, okay? But go through, check your work, and then if you want with whoever your homeschool teacher is at home, you can go ahead and work on the rest of the problems. Please make sure if you are still not sure about what each coin is, that you are working with your parents or your older brothers or sisters or someone at home and you're identifying those coins and working on counting by 5s and 10s. That way this can be a lot easier, because if you know your coins, these are going to be super, super easy. All right? So keep going, keep practicing at home, and I will see you guys all tomorrow. Bye!